You awake to find yourself laying beneath several layers of candle bundles, cheese, and apples as the creaking and moaning of the cart came to a halt. You hear muffled voices speaking back and forth as the flapping of the tarp startled above you. The agent comes to you a bit clearer now, as one of the voices did not place the tarp back. You hear them mention something about inventory checks in a guild house, but you cannot make out every word. The language, although understandable, a strange foreign flavor to it, made it somewhat tricky. You try moving your hands, but realize that under the weight, you couldn't move. As the time seems to drag on, you fall back into a slumber, waking up upon crashing to the cobblestone floor. Rubbing the lump on your forehead, you look to see a woman with black hair and violet eyes, handing a scroll. The room you are both occupying is filled with scrolls, strange tables, and a few armor pieces. "Are you okay? I didn't mean to drop you so hard." She held this aroma to her when she got closer. The smell of roses and honey. "Here, let me do something about that bruise. Again, I am so sorry." You ask where you are, who she is, and why you were in her wagon. Well, that's a lot of questions. Let's start after I make sure you're okay. We traveled quite far. She takes your hand, pressing against your joints. The softness of her skin tangles down your spine. Move your fingers slowly. Good. Breathe in. Hold it. Good. Now breathe out. Your hearing response is good enough, although a bit off. Okay. I shall introduce myself. My name is Mama Kocia, but most people call me Mommy. I am an adventurer. You are the town of Iran. I live here mostly for the work, but it's probably the safest place to be with the war going on and whatnot. She wore a long grey robe with leggings that showed off her toned physique. You avert your eyes to prevent her from thinking you were checking her out. She helps you on your feet and sets you down in a chair. Do you want anything to drink? You haven't eaten or drank anything since I found you. You look down at your hands. Your right one is wooden. Upon further inspection, you notice it is a prosthetic. You ask her what happened to you. And where did she find you? I found you in the Forest of Dreams, just east of here. You were the only survivor I found there. I do not remember anything at all. You give it a thought, but nothing comes to light. As you look up, you notice she has pointed ears. Not as if she was a frightening sight, but you find yourself letting out a very unmanly scream before regaining control. She flinched for a moment. What's wrong? You point to her ears and apologize, explaining you've never seen ears like that. She reaches for one of them and suddenly she looks embarrassed. Oh, I knew you were a barbarian, but you truly don't remember anything about where you are. How do I explain this to you? She sits down near you, looking into your eyes. As of now, you are in Kingdom of Yassaram. I am a dark elf, Yassahai. You are a foreigner, a human from the lands of the east, I would think. I found a small helmet of humans while traveling the Forest of Dreams on a contract. It was destroyed. You are the only person I found still alive, if just barely. The name Yasahim is familiar, but you cannot decipher the maze blocking you from coming to a solid conclusion. Do you have any relatives? Family that you can stay with now? You reply not that you know of. The response seemed to make her a bit upset. You try to change the subject and ask her about her work in Fran. Nah, it's a lot of work. You could join the guild, go off to the labor office and become a mason's apprentice. They often employ the humans from our lands. You can pass for a Guai easily. Oh, that's right. Your understanding of hockey isn't too great, let me see. Guai means something like man-other. Humans of other lands call it high, elves, so we call humans Guai. Nyasa means dark forest. Our homeland has many and moving forests, so do humans. It is known as a land of the dark elves, or Yesaheim, but we call our home Tenkai, which means heaven. Hey, are you listening? Maybe this is too much information. You shake your head and say no, so that you do not mind listening to her speak. Her face turned a bright red before she leaped from the chair. Don't say cheesy stuff like that. I am only informing you so that you don't look a lot like a lost puppy anymore. Over the next few days inside the chambers, Mommy educated you on the current affairs of the kingdom, from its constant bickering of great clans to the wars affecting it. For almost 200 years, instability has brought on chaos, and many villages like your own has found themselves wiped from the map either by armies or malicious nature. You may have lost everyone you know, but you feel almost nothing about it with the memories gone. Something you can tell significantly weighs on Mommy. One morning you wake to find Mommy with her head lying next to your legs in the bed, tears in her eyes. You quickly summarize that she was watching over you during the night. As you sit up, sharp pain in your chest forces you down. After falling to the ground, you feel a swell and sore. Your wounds open up during the night. Looking at the sheets, sporadic splashes of blood were everywhere. Why is she so kind? The voice inside your head asked. Despite the intense burning pain, the room and cold breeziness to it, the smell of roses and honey brought a calmness to the world. You close your eyes. In the following week, you would go to the guild yard. An assortment of adventurers and mercenaries work on their craft as the sun bathes you in its radiance. Everyone is born with arachne energy so that anyone can do magic. But not everyone can cast. You must learn how to properly channel the arachne energy and manifest it to its physical form. The easiest school to understand is a school of songs, or less poetically, incantations. She hands you a scroll. Read those directions. Good. Now watch me perform the casting. She steps into the clearing, and several wooden dummies armed with crossbows arise. She takes a deep breath, but you find yourself trying to rush to her aid as the panic sets in. Lord of the White Mountain, bless upon me the strength of the great towering stones. Fortify my soul and make me unmovable. Mammy became encased in a translucent glowing light as the dummies opened fire and the bolts burst against her. The light faded as she took another breath in, then turned around and smiled at you. Your knees gave out, and as you fell forward, you can hear her gasp and come to your side. Help me! Someone help me! My friend's fainted! Please help! He's still injured! I'm afraid to move him on my own! Her pleas gave you enough strength to reach for her cheek. It was warm. The cold stream of tears slicked down to your index finger. You wake back up in the chambers. Mommy is nowhere to be seen. The moon is out in force, and you realize that yet again, you slept through most of the day. You take a walk around the chambers, looking at impressive armor set on display. A banner with a design you don't yet understand. You come to a scroll that was half unfolded and lying on the ground near the display. You pick it up and read it. Reading my letters, You drop the scroll and fall on your butt. Her face went from a smile to a concerned frown as she helped you up. Sorry. I know that you're still not skilled enough to detect things, yeah? But I couldn't help myself. Her smile filled you with the warm feeling you wanted to desperately to stay. As long as you look at her, it occurs to you that you don't know a lot about this kind of stranger. You ask her about herself, her past, her dreams, her motivations. Oh wow. Not a very polite thing to ask someone you just met a few weeks ago, but seeing as we're partners now, I suppose it's not an issue. I'm from the Seo clan, a great clan in this kingdom. We serve the coalition in Lady Sakabe. Although I'm not a soldier on the front lines, I do my part by being an adventurer guild here in Fran, clearing the countryside of monsters. Another task. I'm an only child, but I have a lot of cousins, including the lady herself. Let's see. I'm a battle mage. My favorite color is red. I don't like ganshu or rattan. I like to draw, I love to hop, and I love to read. You take in what she said, and you ask her why she saved you. Mother Faye says to always help the weak, and the gods so declare it. I guess I had my own reasons for doing it as well. She looked ashamed for admitting that. You decide to push the matter a bit more. She turns from you, staring at her suit of armor. My mother was my sister to Lady Anala, Seo. She died in battle when I was 6 years old. My father died in childbirth, you see. My mother was all I had. She was kind to everyone, even her enemies. She always told me that my heart was the prettiest thing about me. And with how chaotic this world was, one day she may not be here with me. My clan did what they could, but the resources are tight in these times. So I set out to make my way in the world without being a burden on anyone else. I will not lie. It's a lonely road. When I first joined the guild, I was singled out for being an orphan. Despite my noble blood, the stain of being without my parents meant people were reluctant to have me associated with them. You rise up and say it's not her fault, and how cruel it is to do such a thing. That's how things are done in the guild, you see. Noble blood is not seen in positive and forming parties. From your parents you receive formal education and skills. Upon becoming an adventurer, as reliant on that. So you see, I wasn't skilled almost at all when I first joined. You think back on when you witnessed her fantastic magic in the yard. She has come so far, you think. Even though I have made considerable movements and improvements to my skills, I am still excluded from the bigger parties. So I've been determined to make my own party. So when I found you alive, I was set on making you my companion and, well, giving you a home. It's selfish, I know, but you take her hand and you tell her that you're thankful, even if it was ultimately selfish. Thank you. You don't know how relieved I am to hear you say that. Oh my, I realized all this time I never got your name. You draw a blank on your previous name, you try to focus, but nothing comes along, so finally, you suggest to her with your best smile that she'll give you a name. Mommy thinks it over, even just thinking to herself in the glow of the moonlight. You find yourself enchanted by her. Masamune. Here, you spell it like this. The characters for big and hot. She smiles at you. The throbbing of your heart pounds against the wall of your chest, and without thinking, you pull her in and wrap your arms tight. Masamune, what's this? You begin to cry, and your copious tears rolling down your cheeks soak into her shoulders. She runs her fingers through your hair while holding you close. There, Masamune. It's okay. Just let it out, alright? I'm here for you always. You're not alone. We're not alone anymore.